Hello, you wonderful people. Today we're going to take a look how to set up authentication in Remix with Clerk. Clerk allows you to easily set up authentication in your application. Here's an example of what we're going to do. If we click on dashboard, we're going to see that we get a sign in because this is a protected route. So let's go ahead and sign in with Google. I'm going to go ahead, choose my email. It's going to go ahead and set everything up. And bam, we're now seeing our private route. So if I navigate home and I navigate back to dashboard, everything works. If I sign out, it's going to automatically redirect us back to our homepage. And if I try to click dashboard, it is a protected route. And because I'm not logged in, it's going to ask me to log in or sign out. So let's see how we could accomplish this today. Instead of starting from scratch, I already have a starting code for us to get started. But don't worry, none of the hard work has been done for us. And if you're wondering how I created the starter project, you could check out this video here, which was part 1 of this series. You can find this by navigating to this link, Paul Braslavsky, remix-intro-yt-base-1. Wow, that's a mouthful. So I'm going to click code. I'm using GitHub CLI. And if you're not using GitHub CLI, make your life easier, install it on your computer. I'm going to click copy. And inside my terminal, I'm going to go ahead and paste the command. Once I clone the repo, I'm going to cd into the project and I'm going to run yarn to install all the dependencies. Once everything's done, we're going to type code.period to get it open in our VS Code. I'm going to go ahead and change the color because I'm a visual person. And now let's run yarn dev to see our application. Once the project starts, let's go ahead and navigate to localhost 3000. And here we see our starter project. Notice that if I click on dashboard, there's no check, there's no sign in option. This is what we're going to work on today. But we have the basic code ready to go. So let's quickly review it inside our code editor. So inside our code editor, I'm going to go into the app folder, routes, and here we have our dashboard route, which we want to make protected, meaning that if you're not signed in, people shouldn't be able to visit. We also have our index page, which is our basic hero section. And majority of the work is going to be done inside this root.tsx file, where we're going to add the logic to set up Clerk and allow us to use sign up and sign in feature. So let's do it. But first, let's go ahead and create our Clerk account. Going to clerk.com, you're going to click the Start Build for Free button. Here, you could sign up with GitHub or continue with Google. I already have a GitHub account, but I'm going to start a new one with Google just to walk you through the process. I'm going to use paulnotfromstrappy@gmail.com. Enter my password if I remember it. It might ask you for some additional information, and that's it. We're pretty much done. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to add an application. So let's go ahead and click on the Add Application button. And here we're going to give a name for our application. I'm going to say Remix Auth. And I'm going to keep the same options, which people have the ability to set up either email address or using a Google provider. And then here, I'm going to click Create Application. Once the application is done, we're going to go ahead and click on the option that we want. We're using Remix. I'm going to click on Remix and I'm going to copy to dashboard. Now, since you could see my API keys, don't worry, I'm going to make sure to delete them right after I record this video. Once we have our API keys, let's navigate to our project. And inside the root of our project, we're going to create a new file called .env. So new file .env. And we're going to paste in our keys. All right, once we have our keys, let's see what the next step is. So let's go ahead and install Clerk and Remix. So I'm going to copy this link. Make sure you stop your application if it's running. I'm going to clear the screen and I'm going to install the necessary packages. While that's installing, let's navigate to step 3, which is bringing in our root auth loader, which we get from Clerk. So I'm going to go ahead, copy this code on line 11. Inside our code editor, navigate to your root.tsx file, and let's go ahead, import our root auth loader. From our documentation, we're going to go ahead and copy the loader. So I'm going to go ahead and copy the snippet here. Inside our code editor, let's go ahead and add it right after the root auth loader on line 18. TypeScript is going to complain because we're missing this type. So let's go ahead and add the type here. Type loader function. Nice. And our app will stop complaining. So next step is to import the higher order function. So let's go ahead and import Clerk app. And let's add that import right above our root auth loader. And finally, navigate all the way to the bottom. And we're going to do export default Clerk app. And we're going to pass in our app. And it's complaining because we already had the import. So to fix this, just go ahead and remove this. So now everything should look good. And what we're going to do here, just to kind of see what we get, let's console.log all these items. Perfect. And before creating our sign in and sign up page, let's go ahead, add our error boundary. So I'm going to go ahead and copy the snippet here on line 23. And first, let's import our error boundary here. So we're going to say Clerk error boundary, and let's go ahead, paste it right before the app. And just to check our sanity, let's go ahead and restart our application. And as we refresh, everything seems to be working. Nothing's broken. We're still not going to have any redirects yet because we didn't add the sign in and sign up page just yet. We're going to do that next. So now let's do the final touch. Let's navigate to our app. And in our routes folder, we're going to create a new route. And we're going to go new file. And it's going to be called sign up dot. And if we put a $, it's going to match any other URL parameter. So if someone says sign up / blah, 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 it's still going to return this route, which is perfectly fine for us. So that's how we're going to do it. TSX file. And we're going to import sign up from Clerk Remix. Next, we're going to do export default function sign up route. And we're going to return a div. And we're going to add basing styling, flex, item center, justify center. And then we're going to do height. And we're going to use the calc function. And we're going to do 100 view height minus 80 pixels because that's about the size of our navbar. Perfect. And now let's use our sign up component. Excellent. And we're going to copy this because our sign in is going to be very similar. So let's create a new route and go new file. And we're going to say sign in $.tsx. And we're going to paste in the code and we're going to change this to sign in. Perfect. Now, before we could finish this up, going to the documentation, we're going to find the section which has the env parameters for Clerk to handle where we want to redirect to whenever someone signs up or signs in. So let's go ahead and copy this. Inside your code, go to the env variables folder and let's paste in our snippet. Sign in refers to our sign in URL. Sign up refers to our sign up route that we just created. Sign in and sign up here. And then now what we want to do upon successful sign up, we want to redirect to dashboard. So that's what we're going to add here. Now, finally, let's go inside the dashboard route. And we do have to modify this a little bit to check if we have a sign-in user. If you don't have a sign-in user, we want to redirect them back to the home page. So first, let's set up our loader function to check if we have a logged-in user. Otherwise, we'll redirect. So we're going to go export const loader, and it's going to be a loader function async. So let's go ahead, import the type, import type loader function from Remix node. We also want to import redirect. We also want to import get auth from Clerk, which we'll use to check if we have a logged-in user. So we're going to say const user ID equals await get auth. And we do want to pass args here. So make sure we're updated here as well. And then we're going to do a check if user ID, we're going to return redirect, but we're going to just redirect them back to home page. And I usually like to put stuff like this on one line. And here we're going to redirect to sign in if there's no proper user. And for now, we're just going to return a simple message called data, and we'll just return the user ID. So now let's restart our app and see if anything breaks. All right, so let's try to navigate to dashboard. And notice it redirects us to sign in, which is awesome. We're going to say continue with Google. Let me go ahead and sign in with my Google account. And notice how it redirects us back to dashboard. And here we have our button to manage our account, to sign out. And where is this button coming from? It is coming from our user button that we created here. And so perfect, this works. So check this out. You could sign out, then it'll redirect you back to your application. And I didn't implement any of these other routes yet, but if I go to dashboard, it's going to ask us to sign in. And we click sign in, we pick an account and we sign in. And because we're using Clerk, we have this cool widget, which allows you to manage your account and change all the cool information. So this is pretty awesome. So for this tutorial, we're going to end here. The goal is to continue to build out this application. I'm still not sure exactly what I want to build. So if you have any ideas, let me know in the comments. But at least we have our authentication set up. And in the next few videos, we're going to spend time covering the basics of Remix, like how to create routes for additional pages, how to make dynamic routes, how to make nested routes. We're going to cover how to get data, how to load data. Then we're going to take a look how to connect to a database. And the idea is by the end of this tutorial is for you to have some basic fundamental takeaways to allow you to build an application that you want to build. Nice, we did it. We set up Clerk authentication with Remix. We have now a great startup project that we could use to build something cool. If you like what I do here on this channel, consider subscribing, liking, or giving some suggestions in the comments. I still don't know where to take this application, so let me know. But what I do know, I'm going to continue doing this beginner-friendly Remix tutorial series to cover all the basics that you need to know to build cool things with Remix. So if you want to see the next video, make sure you stay subscribed. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next one. Thanks a lot for your time and have a good night, good day, good morning, wherever you are on YouTube. I guess you could be watching this in the middle of the night or whenever. But anyway, I'll see you later.